Now looks like Uncle Murda has officially taken on 50's beef with Rick Ross. This morning, he randomly decided, you know what? Let me go mess with Rick Ross today. Y'all remember a couple weeks ago when I reported that Rick Ross actually filed a cease and desist for Remy Ma's movie. This movie was going to be on her network, the Remy Network. It was a movie about a CEO that turned into a rapper. Yes. Now, I actually spoke with the producer of the movie. According to him, it had nothing to do with Rick Ross. Now, Remy Ma and her lawyer actually
just sound like Rick Ross. It looked like
all the steps they went through.
Had a beard. Right. Said,
right.
What a catchphrase.
Corrections in 1992 to 1997.
Said, hey, we're actually working with Rick Ross to resolve this issue. Me and Rick Ross are cool. We've never had any issues with each other. So from what it looks like, these two were going to work it out. Now, Uncle Murda said, good morning. I just wanted to remind y'all that Ricky Rosette, aka Rick Ross, hitting on Remy Ma and the Remy Network for wanting to put out a movie about a correctional officer who was never in the streets that turned into a rapper, who started rapping about being a gangster but was really a fraud. And Ricky Rosette, aka Rick Ross, sent out a cease and desist because the truth hurts. I need to know what all my fellow hip-hop journalists and podcasts think about this, because I don't hear nobody talking about it like that.
Because it's last month. We don't care no more.
Nah, son, he just trying to stir the pot.
He's trying to stir the pot. We all know he police. Nobody don't really care. We just messing with him. We know he police.
It's Rose.
He not really.
What's the government name? Clarence.
Right. It ain't even Rick. It ain't nothing like that. Yeah.
To see the movie. The people want to see it. Now, I don't know if he knows, but people actually spoke on this. This happened damn near a month ago.
Craziest thing about all of this that's happening is Rick Ross then sent Remy Ma a cease and desist. Personally, like I said, I don't hold that against Ross because I feel like Ross, he's a rapper. That's not to take nothing.
That's way more. You ever watch his channel? He used to be Dave East's manager or whatever. He had a falling out with Dave East. It's kind of crazy.
Oh, okay. I think he did something on it probably recently.
Away from none of these niggas. I look at rappers as just rappers. Now, yeah, a lot of rappers come from the street. A lot of rappers done been through some stuff. But at the point where you sign your name on that dotted line and you start putting out product, I have to look at you as a person that's selling a brand. And whatever that brand is, whether I believe it or not, you got to sell it. That shit ain't up to me. It ain't up to y'all that's watching. It's up to the artists and their teams. Now, I mean, how many people do we believe were big drug lords and escaped that and made it into rap? Not many. You know what I'm saying? Not many, if any, at all.
Not as the rapper. Not many. No. Not many. Now, behind the scenes, yes. But not as the rapper, not many.
I feel like, when it comes to rap, and this is just my maturity in the shit.
So he's actually pretty late on this news. That's why you don't see any media personalities talking about it now.
He still got the skinny mustache. Of course he's going to be late on the news.
Uncle Murda?
Yeah, he still got the 90s mustache.
That's the NY joint.
Right, yeah, you should rock that. Shit, I had one like that. Not that thin. That's very thin. It's eyelash thin. But, I used to rock a thin one.
Good news, but it is a good attempt to try to get Rick Ross going viral, try to get a hate campaign on social media going against him, especially when his verses against French Montana is coming up next week. Now, you guys know the saying, do not throw stones if you live in a glass house. Last week, 50 Cent was hit with a lawsuit by a former employee who claimed that she was fired for refusing to help him hide assets and also file a fake police report.
50 Cent, aka Curtis Jackson, is responding through his lawyer to a lawsuit filed against him by a woman who worked with the music mogul for about 12 years. Here are some of the highlights of the lawsuit. Monique Mayers claims she refused to hide property in her own name to conceal Jackson's connection to a transaction during his bankruptcy-related reporting period. She also says she would not file a false police report accusing Jackson's driver and bodyguard of stealing Jackson's vehicle and approximately $600,000 in cash. Because of that, Mayer says she was fired in March of 2019 without cause and without severance. Now, there's text messages, phone records that Mayer says prove she was harassed and endured emotional distress and psychological.
We saw that when Ja Rule was texting her.
Right. She said Ja Rule. Everybody, all the rappers started texting her allegedly. I don't believe her no more than I believe Stephon Diggs accused her.
Right.
injury. 50 Cent's attorney responded, though, to those allegations, calling Mayers a disgruntled former employee who was terminated for cause over 5 years ago. His attorney also said this lawsuit is nothing more than a transparent attempt to use the guise of a legal proceeding to seek an unjustified payday well outside the applicable statute of limitations. They also noted Mayers has, quote, chosen to employ counsel who is currently engaged in separate ongoing litigation against Mr. Jackson on behalf of Shaniqua Tompkins. Who is that, you might ask? Well, Tompkins shares a son with 50 Cent.
Now, Rick Ross was initially
that lady, the mad one. The oldest boy mother. Yeah.
Marquise mother.
Yeah. Shaniqua mad. She mad.
To let this story slide. He didn't comment on it last week when it broke, but after seeing Uncle Murda try to resurface old news about him, he said, fuck it, all bets are off. Rick Ross commented on this 50 Cent lawsuit post. He said, Uncle Murda can wash the bottom of my boat for employment purposes if need be. Then he gets even more disrespectful. He says, I need you face down, hey yo, making sure no algae is on my yacht. Your kids can polish my gold propellers. Damn. Hey, come on, Rose. Now, this is how things go all the way left. This went from two men joking on each other to now getting kids involved. And we know people do not play about...
These niggas is keyboard gangsters.
Want they baby washing propellers?
Right. Your child washing.
Getting algae off?
Their kids. But from Rose's perspective, I was chilling, minding my own business, and you came for me. Keep my name out your mouth if you don't want me to disrespect you.
Like I always say, you can never control how somebody reacts. Once you do something, you get a knife, they get a gun. You know what I mean?
Now if a person get a bigger gun.
Right, somebody get a bigger gun or a boat.
Beef is with your man's 50, not you. Me and you got nothing going on. I think personally, Uncle Murda was just trying to get the conversation going for his podcast. As you guys can see, he tagged his podcast at the end of this caption. So from what it looks like, he was just trying to get engagement for his podcast. Now, we all know Rick Ross can be extremely petty. So depending on how this lawsuit goes for 50, if he somehow loses this lawsuit, Ricky Rose is going to have a field day with him.
50 better not lose no lawsuit. Oh, God.
And Uncle Murda.
Yeah, right.
On Instagram. You guys get in the comments below. What do you guys make of?
All right, enough, chicks. Shout out to chicks. I really don't think you're a tether. I was just messing around, man.
Stop it.
I was just kidding. All right, check this out.
Do a mic check.
But next week...